it's funny. When I emailed you your podcast that just came out yesterday on not yesterday, 2 days ago, on November 30th, you guys actually kind of you and Alex talked about this question that I wrote down a couple weeks ago.
Huh.
So it's kind of fun. I watched, I don't remember what podcast it is, but Mr. Beast was on it. And he said that he thinks that in 2023, TikTok is going to die. And he thinks that TikTok's going to die because YouTube Shorts is going to start rev sharing. And because their rev share is so much better, and technically YouTube is currently still significantly larger than TikTok is, that's why he thinks it's going to, because all the creators that are trying to be on TikTok because they're not getting rev share on Shorts will move to YouTube because they have better rev share. Because he made some sort of comment about how he has 3 of the top 10 most viewed TikToks of all time, and he's only made like 10 or 15 grand off of each one. But like with significantly less views on YouTube, he'd made like $100,000, and that's gonna drive people to go to YouTube. I want to know what your thoughts are on that.
Do you know how he defined die when he said TikTok's going to die?
He didn't say, like, he didn't go super into detail, and I didn't get to listen to the whole conversation. I mean, I'm assuming that he's not meaning that it's just gonna not exist. It's not like, oh my gosh, what's Vine? Like, it's just like people are gonna stop using it.
Sure.
I think more so like, if I had to like make an assumption of what he was meaning by that, is that when you see a mass exodus where it's like people are not paying as much attention to it, it's still going to be popular, but like it's not going to be everyone's go-to. Like you're going to see a bigger shift.
Yep. Oh, I have so many thoughts. So the first is I don't think we've ever seen a mass exodus on social that I can remember. What we have seen are generations turning over and new generations not latching on to the previous generation's social. So we saw that with Facebook, right? Facebook
Yeah.
kind of ages out, and now young people aren't creating accounts there. So we never saw a mass exodus. Facebook lost momentum because it couldn't pick up on the next generation. Snapchat, no mass exodus, but just as it was about to kind of reach that top tier status amongst the major social platforms, it gets undercut by Instagram stories. And so you have all these 30 somethings or late 20 somethings that were about to go over to Snapchat that had kind of been holding out. And then the feature that Snapchat had popularized got introduced to their already, like their social platform of choice already. So now they don't feel incentivized to move over. So assuming the quote was in 2023, TikTok will be dead, I don't really care how you define dead. That doesn't seem possible whatsoever because users of social platforms don't leave platforms they're already accustomed to using.
Right.
Creators might. So if you told me that over the course of 5 years, there was a mass exodus of creators, which then via trickle down affected the end users because the quality of their For You page started to diminish. And over the course of 5 years, realistically, sure, that could seem possible to me. In a year, no way. YouTube Shorts, though, very interesting. YouTube has been the major social platform that has been very resistant to new features. And even when it does introduce new features like the community tab or stories, it doesn't really give it that much priority or focus. You think about Instagram, Facebook, when they release a new feature, they're like, please use this. And if you do, we'll give you a ton of organic reach as an incentive. YouTube's like, yeah, we introduced stories. If you use them, no one's going to see them. But if you want to use them, they're there. But also, we don't really care about them. Shorts is the first thing that I can remember that they have put significant resources behind. And their rollout has been very sloppy on Shorts, I would say, but you can tell that they care about it. And they care about it because they're putting money behind it. And the director of Shorts, I think his name is Todd Sherman, kind of came out and was like, hey, we're seeing massive growth on here. And they did introduce the RevShare partner program that is so famous with YouTube on Shorts. And here's what's interesting. The YouTube RevShare program, which is in a class of its own, no one gets close to it, which is why so many creators love YouTube, is 55% to the creator, 45% to the platform. With Shorts, YouTube inverted that. It's 45% to the creator, 55% to the platform. And I think a big reason for that is because of the discovery algorithm of TikTok and Shorts. It's very kind of like, hey, you get a lottery ticket, you might win. Whereas social graph algorithms, which is how YouTube kind of was before, is you build this subscriber base. And so when viewers return to your YouTube videos, it's because you've built that audience. And so you've kind of earned that 55%. Whereas with shorts, it's kind of just roll of the dice, roll of the dice. At least that's how it's been typically. And so they've inverted it 45, 55. Facebook and Reels, Facebook and Instagram Reels have also introduced their own partner program. And Facebook followed the YouTube model on Facebook Reels 55-45 in their beta testing. Doesn't mean they'll roll it out for everyone, but they followed that YouTube model, which I find very interesting, that even Meta is like, look, if we want to survive and thrive in the long term, we have to incentivize. And by incentivize, organic reach is not going to be enough. Hard cash, pay out to creators so that they'll continue to use our platform. So those are kind of some of my big picture thoughts. Easy answer to the question, will TikTok die because of YouTube Shorts? No, I don't see that happening whatsoever.
No, that's good. No, I appreciate that. I think for me, for Facebook, I think the biggest thing that like frustrates me about them is that I can't search for something. So like if I watch and see a video from like say you, but I don't know who you are, and then like I can't find it again and I forgot to share it to someone and I'm like, "Oh, there's that guy that was talking about this thing." Like on YouTube, I can go and type in some of the things you talked about and my chances of stumbling across your video or your short or whatever are significantly there because it's a search engine. Like I think that's the biggest downfall for Facebook video that I have is just like it's hard to re-find something that you
Yep.
didn't like save or something like that. And I think that that's going to be their biggest hurdle personally until they can fix that. They're never gonna fully compete with YouTube.
That's a great point. And TikTok has a very good search engine as well. I have been in that same situation where I'm like, oh yeah, man and goat and like kick. And it's like, oh yeah, there's the video. That's the exact one that I wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
You do that on Facebook and yeah, 0% chance. And you know, Facebook and Instagram have a huge uphill battle because they're so bloated and they have
Yeah.
so much on the platform. It's like, you know, turning around a cruise ship. Like if you want to pivot in that way, yes, you can invest billions and you can put money behind these decisions. And clearly you're betting a ton on this, but that doesn't make it any easier of a task. One more thought I also had on the TikTok versus YouTube thing. TikTok did recently pass Netflix as the second most popular app in the US in the under 35 group. Number one, still YouTube. So Mr. Beast is right in that like YouTube still holds that number one spot. And I'm definitely not challenging that statement whatsoever. But for TikTok to overcome Netflix, that's noticeable.
Yeah, and I'm curious about that because like Netflix keeps raising their prices and they just had to come out with their new version. So it's like I'm curious how much that plays into that versus like
Have
the
you
actual
seen
content from the platforms.
Have you seen Netflix's experiment with vertical video?
I have not.
I just saw it yesterday. On their mobile app, they have these things called clips now. So a
Okay.
lot of their comedy stuff has this. Like, hey, we'll show you a 60-second vertical video excerpt of this stand-up show. And if you want to watch the whole thing, we have it. But here's a 60-second clip, and it's a very similar interface. So now you don't just have vertical video, every social platform embracing it. You now have like crossovers into, well, that's not a social platform, that's an entertainment platform, which is what TikTok's like their leaders have always said. You know, there was this big piece. I think it was in was it in the Atlantic? It wasn't in the Atlantic. Another big major publication, and they were talking about Facebook and how they were taking on TikTok, and TikTok was like, we're an entertainment platform. They're a social platform. It's not the same. They can do
Yeah.
that. Change what you want. We're in different categories, so they're never going to be able to be what we are, and we're never going to be able to be what they are. And what's amazing about TikTok's rise is that in a world of social platforms that kept trying to like outdo Facebook, a platform that was built on the social graph, and the social graph meaning your personal connections with friends and family and famous people, you can't beat a company that is built on a social graph because they have too many years of head start on you. So when you go on Facebook and it's like, here's what you did 8 years ago, that is indicative of all of the data they have on you and your relationship. So if you're a new social platform and you're like, hey, add your friends, well, you're 10 years behind Facebook. TikTok was like, we're not going to play that game. We're going to invent a brand new algorithm, a discovery algorithm, the For You page. And so we're playing a game with totally different rules. So we don't have to worry about competing with TikTok. We're not on the same court. We invented a new sport. And so Facebook then
Yeah.
trying to catch up, that's where you have TikTok in that article being like, well, they're playing a different game. So good luck.
Yeah, and I like how TikTok will pull, like, your local information, so it's, like, it's more likely for me to find
Yes.
people that are, like, close in my region, which is really cool, especially because like, my church right now is trying really hard to, like, branch out and make partnerships with other local churches, so it's, like, we're gonna do, like, our church has, like, we're gonna do, like, a night of worship with another local church, where we go there, our worship band plays, and we're trying to do, like, men's events together with this church and women's events with this church, and it's like it's been kind of cool to be on TikTok and see these other people from like my area that have the same kind of like beliefs. And then it's like, oh, that gives me now an opportunity. I could reach out to this person and like make an actual physical connection rather than like, oh, there's a guy in Canada that I really like. And, but he, he's 8-hour drive away from me that I could like really like connect with on that type of a personal level. So I think that that's the one thing that I do see TikTok having that none of the other platforms really have. I mean, even YouTube doesn't do that. Like with shorts, you can add tags and stuff like that. So, that kind of drives their algorithm for their SEO. But yeah, TikTok is still superior in that.